This is 1-3. We are talking about parent functions. What that means is you have got a basic function, standard, it's usually at the origin, 0, 0. And then you build functions from that. They become a family of functions when you do stuff to it. For instance, this one. Graph f of x equals x, x plus 3, and x minus 5 in a viewing window. So, we've been doing the Desmos calculator. And I wish I had made this a little bit bigger for this. But, right here, you're just going to type in, I got the y equals x already. So, y equals x minus 1. And you can see what that does is that just takes the y equals x function, which is right here, all right, and moves it down 1. Goes through the negative 1, just like the graph has x minus 1. Then this one, y equals x plus 5. Well, as you might guess, it's going to cross over the y-axis at positive 5. Right here. Okay, this is a family of functions based on the y equals x basic function. Standard linear. Okay. So, that is for the mx plus b function. Here's another one. What happens with the when you start putting something in front? 3x, 1/2 of x. Well, what happens with that is you end up changing the slope. How steep or flat it is. So instead of x minus 1, we're going to change the steepness to 3x. So see how the y equals x, you've got the y equals x, give me my window back over here. You have a 1-to-1 ratio. That's 1, 1, right there. 2, 2, if I can get there. 2, 2. But when you've got a 3x, this thing goes from 0, 0. The next time it crosses over would be right there. 1, 3. Okay, so you've got a slope of 3. So let's change the green one and make that 1/2 x. Okay, 1/2. There we go. X. And that makes this much flatter. Okay, so that would be up 1 over 2. Okay, 1 going, okay, up 1 to 1/2. 2 to 1 right there. Okay, 1/2 times 2 would give you 1. So, over 2, up 1. There we go. All right, so with the 3x right here, you get a very steep line, the blue one. The regular one is just your standard, and then that one is a flatter line. But that's what we're dealing with when we're dealing with parent functions. Okay, now there are different types of functions we've got. For instance, the absolute value function. Well, the absolute value function is really just two linear functions. Okay, one is a y equals negative x, and then it flips back up y equals x over here because it's always coming out of a y being positive. If we're going to go to the Desmos graph for that, then let me show you what happens to get your, I wanted it to be available. Okay, so right here, this is your absolute value. You're going to click this little thing, and that'll make an absolute value. Okay, you might have seen that little thing pick up over on the corner. Right here, the absolute value. That one picked up. And let's see if I can get up here also to get an absolute value. Okay, so put my thing back down for that. And here's what you've got on a family of graphs here. Your red, again, was the standard one of absolute value of x. Then you had the blue was your 3x, and the green was your 1/2 absolute value of x. Okay? Let's move them around a little bit. Let me get rid of these. And there's your standard. Now, what I want to do, and you'll be able to see half of it here, but I want you to see the whole thing here. If I do, we did an A out front here, and you saw that that made it steeper or flatter. But let's do movement. Y equals, get my absolute value up again, absolute value of x minus 2. Okay. Notice that this makes it move. Well, you can't see it because the window's not over there. If you do absolute value of x minus 2 inside, it makes it move over to the right 2. If you do y equals, oops, come on. Let me close this down. Y equals, I'm going to need the absolute value, so I need to pull it right back up. Absolute value of x, and then I put the minus 2 on the outside. Here's what happens. If you've got the negative 2 on the inside, it moves right 2. If you've got it on the outside, it moves it down 2. So dealing with this always moves the opposite inside your grouping parentheses, grouping fixtures, whatever they are. Right here, it'll always move it up or down, exactly the same thing that it says. If it says minus 2, it's negative 2. This one is just the opposite. If I do plus 2, it'll move it left. And you did see that one because it popped up here over on the side. So that's how these things work in terms of the parent functions. And that's what I had you guys doing right here. I wanted you to go to Desmos.com, do what I just did, enter the following equations, and pay attention to these translations and how they affect the graph. You will see them in the next few slides as well. Okay? This one I'm going to do for you. And then you've got these two that you're going to turn in for me. Okay? So, this one, if we go back to Desmos, we've got absolute value of x and then the absolute value of x plus 3. So, plus 3. Get rid of this one. Absolute value of x plus 3. Got those two. Then the next one, oh, I had the x minus 2 already. So, y equals the absolute value of x minus 2. I want to change this color. Show you guys how to do that right now. Change this color. Whoops. Oh, come on. Didn't mean to erase it. That turns it off. All right. Now, hold it down, and you've got a color change. I'll make it blue so it stands out a little bit more. Okay. And so you can also, if you hold it down, you can also make it dotted. Very dotted. Okay. Or just your standard. You can also change your weight. Okay, so you've got a bunch of things you can do with this thing. The next one, let's see what we got. And that is putting the two together. Absolute value of x minus 2 plus 3. Okay, so we're going to have y equals absolute value of x minus 2 plus 3. And I need to change that one from blue to maybe orange, something that stands out. Yeah. Okay. So there's my absolute value of x minus 2, and then the absolute value of x plus 3. Then I've got absolute value of x minus 2 plus 3. So it moved right 2 and up 3, just like this would tell us right 2 and up 3. That's the basis for our parent functions. Okay, so you've got the next two to do. These are parabolas. Okay, x squareds are parabolas. And that's going to be part of your marble slides that you'll be doing later down farther. So definitely want you to know what these things are doing. These are cubic. Okay. And these quadratic functions, this gives you a generalized thing of what happens. The A out in front always tells you whether it goes up or down. If that A is positive, it's going to go up. If it's negative, it's going to go down, upside down. Your exponential function, same thing. H moves the graph left or right. Up there with the X, it's going to move it left or right. And K moves the graph up or down, just like I just showed you. So that is your basics for the parent functions. And I do want you guys to tell me about these, what happens to each of them on the assignment that is below the notes in the video. All right, thanks.